Hello everyone, hello viewers. Yes, guys, welcome back to our channel again. So guys, my name is Paul. I'm a DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, and also a business owner. So guys, today we will be bringing to you another new video today that is going to help you in doing your automation. So sometimes if you want to launch a containerized application, you may need to use Kubernetes or Docker. And so if you have to use a Docker remotely, it's going to require you to launch a server and also have the Docker installed on this server. Maybe sometime you need to configure and also have the Docker to be a user on this server, as well as installing Docker dependencies. It could be Java, Git, Terraform, Kubectl, sometime in some cases when you have to run maybe some Kubernetes commands. So today we are going to bring this project to you because I worked on this project and make it very easy, well automated, so that you can have your server deployed from Terraform, automated, and have a script that is going to run to install for you all the packages and all this software that I just named. Docker, Git, Terraform, kubectl, including Git as well. Okay, so this is one of the projects that I recently worked on, and so we are going to go onto my GitHub repository so that we can see all the different files that we are going to need. A series of files that we are going to need in this project is going to be the VPC file, the backend.tf, then also another file for the Docker server, the server that's for the instance that we are going to need with its Terraform configuration, and as well as we're going to need a script. So the script file, the file that is going to have that script that is going to be running automated, and this script is a bash shell script. So I'm going to log into my GitHub repository, and we can pull up the project from my GitHub repository. It's one of the projects that I recently worked on, and I'm going to share the link to this repository because I made it public so that you can also access it and use it, reconfigure the code as you want in order so that it can help you in your environment. So this is the repository right here. I'm going to open that repository right now. So these are the series of files that you are going to need for the project right here. This README is just the information about the project. I don't have anything in this README file right now, which is I would have just maybe need to just explain to you the different steps which is or maybe what the project is all about so that I can guide you. And that is what I just explained now, guys. Then the backend.tf file. In here, I configure the project so that you can store your terraform.state file in an S3 bucket. And also you need to enable the versioning for the project so that you can have your Terraform state file, all the different versions that you are running being updated so that if you have any form of disaster or anything, you can be able to roll back to the state that is working. And then you will have the script right here. The script, you need to take note that Yum is our package manager in this case, and then we are going to the server that we are going to deploy is going to be an Amazon Linux 2. And do not worry about all these commands, they are easy. So this one, the first one is just to update the server. The second one will just help you to search for Docker and then install the Docker. And then the next commands is just to configure the Docker user, give the user ID in EC2 as an EC2 user, as well as create a new group and add that Docker on that server as a user, upgrade the server, install Java, Git, Terraform, kubectl, and then at the end of the script you have you need to have the server rebooted so that that new user, which is Docker, can take effect and start functioning. So that is it about the script. There's nothing big about the script, guys. And let's go ahead. Then you have the Docker server. This is just the provisioning of the instance configuration, including its subnets, security group, and all of that, the VPC ID as well. And you are going to have your output.tf file. This is just saying that you need to output the public IP of the server so that you can SSH on the instance or do anything, any configuration that you want. And you need to have your provider.tf as well as the Terraform var variables.tf file, which is just to declare your variables, and you have your VPC. In that VPC is going to this file is also going to launch for you a VPC, a subnet, internet gateway, as well as route tables and security groups. Then you also have some ingress and egress configuration. The ingress configuration is just the port 22 is just to help you to SSH on the server, and then you have port 8080 also open for your HT for your access of your application. We can also expose some additional port. It depends on your configuration. So feel free to modify the file as you want, and then that in a way that will suit your configuration. So the first thing we want to do is to create a local working directory. So we are going to create a local working directory. Let's call it Docker. Let's call it Docker. So this is a very great project because with this project you can go off of this project to do many things, guys. To do many things. Launch your Sonar Cube server, just do a lot of projects off of this project, including even your EKS cluster and just so many things. So let's go ahead. We're going to use VS Code. I also have Git Bash for our code as our code editor tool, but we'll use VS Code in this case. So right now there's a server right here, yeah, which is the Docker server right here, and the server is right there. It's our working directory, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up so that we can have access to our terminal. And right from here we are in our local working directory, and we will clone our our repository. So I'm going to go into the remote repo, which is on my GitHub account. Feel free to check me out on GitHub. This is my GitHub account. I'm going to pull that up so that you can see my username on my GitHub. You can check me out. Paul Njuaba is my first and last name right there. And let's go ahead and clone this repository, guys. This remote repository in our local working directory. All right, we have the remote repository right there, and we are going to clone it on our local. Okay, so we have the remote repository clone on our local right now. This is a remote repository, and we are going to cd into that repository. I do want to make sure that we all have I want to make it a little bit, expand the visualization a little bit so that everyone you can see exactly the commands that I'm running to make it visible to everyone. I just hope everyone can see all the commands that I'm running. Okay, yes, so I can increase the view. I'm going to come over to view and I can come over to our appearance and I'm going to zoom out. Oh, I did zoom in. I'm going to go to our view and now I can go to our appearance and I will zoom in instead, guys. This is what we had. I'm going to zoom in again. Our view, go to our appearance, and I'm going to zoom in. Great. Okay. We just want to make sure that everyone is seeing all the commands that we are running. We just clone the remote repository and that is it right there. And so right now we want to cd into the remote repository so that we can start running our commands to deploy this server that is that is also going to run the script at the time of the deployment of the server. So cd into that remote repository, into the repository we have in our local environment right now. Let me see what we have. Great. I guess everyone can see our screen, guys. Let us know if everything is looking clear. So here are the files that we were able to look to see when I had it in my repository. These are all the files that we have in our local environment right now. These are the list of files right here, guys. Let me see. Let me grab. Okay. Here are the list of files right here that we just listed earlier on. I'm going to clear that off. And we can go ahead. We can go ahead right now and continue with our command. And the first command that we are going to run is going to be our Terraform init command. Remember, guys, we already had the AWS CLI installed on in our local machine, and we already did our AWS configure so that we can pass our access key and secret key to our environment so that we have our local environment authenticated to our AWS account. So we are going to run a Terraform init to initialize our configuration. Okay, so as it is initializing, we are going to log onto our AWS account. Let's see. So go to our AWS. We can log onto our console. Okay. Okay, so I guess we already have our, okay, great. Let's go to we can log onto our AWS console so that we can visualize as our instance will be provisioned. Okay, great. So we are logged onto our account, guys, and our configuration is configured for US East 2 region. So that is in Ohio, and this is our dashboard for our instances right now. So there is no instance that is running at this time. So we'll go ahead and continue with our configuration. So the initial configuration is already good. Terraform init, the initialization is complete and everything looks good. Let's check out for our Terraform validate. So let's validate our configuration. Yep. So it's taking a moment to validate our configuration, guys. Okay, so our configuration is valid. And right here, let's go ahead and do our Terraform apply dash auto approve. So we'll run our Terraform apply dash auto approve command to provision that server and also have the script run so that we can install the Docker and the user configured. So this is our Terraform plan. It says we are going to provision 6 resources, nothing to change and nothing to destroy. So our server is being provisioned and the script is also being run to install all the different tools that we just talked about: Docker, Git, Terraform, Kubectl, and Java. So it's taking a moment. Great. So all our resources has been provisioned. We have 6 resources that has just been added, as you can see from right here. 0 change and 0 destroyed. And then we have our output.tf file that is able to output our public IP successfully right here. And we can go to our AWS account, and if we refresh right now, we are in US East 2, and if we refresh right now, we should be able to see the instance that is being provisioned. So right here, this is the instance. Right here is being provisioned. It's a T2 medium and is currently being initialized. So we have this is the instance right here, guys. And so, like I said, the goal was to make sure that we have all the software tools that we talked about: Docker, Git, Java, Kubectl, and Terraform installed on that server. So that is exactly what we have. So we are going to go straight to, we can copy this IP right now because it's the public IP of that instance, and we can access that instance. We can SSH on that instance. Let's see what we have. We can go to our terminal. Let's divide our terminal. So we are going to run cd dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot, so that we return right here, and we are going to cd in our download where we have our key pair, guys. That's what we mean. So we just cd into download right now where we have our key pair. We can see right here. So we have our key pair right here. The key pair is project dash key pair. So, and so that we can SSH. So we are going to run SSH dash I dash project key dot pem key. and we are going to have EC2 dash user. Then we're going to have our public IP right there, and we can SSH onto that server, guys. Great. So we are onto that server right now, and so you do not need an elevated privilege in order to run your Docker commands right on the server. So I can go ahead and I'll just run Docker info so you can see if Docker is running on that server or not. Great. So Docker is running. You do not need an elevated privilege in order to run your Docker commands on this server. So this is a great project that is automated. If you streamline your work, we've taken a very short time to provision your server, have your Docker installed, and have all its dependencies installed. So you can see that we have Docker installed because you can already see the information about Docker right here. There's no container running at this time, no image, and the version is the latest version 20.10.23, which is the latest version at the time when we're making this video in 2023. 2023. Yep. All right, guys. So I'm going to clear my screen. So like I said, we have Terraform installed as well. So I'm going to say Terraform dash version so that we can see if we have Terraform right there installed. Great. So you can also see Terraform is also installed on this server, and we can also check if Git is also installed on this server as well, because we had the script git dash version. We also have Git installed on the server as well. Git, the version is 2.40, and we can also check if Java is also installed. So Java is also installed. Uh, it's the OpenJDK. So Java is also installed OpenJDK 17.0. And you can also check to make sure that kubectl is also installed. Kubectl dash version. Let's see if that version will work. So that if you are also doing, maybe you want to use but Kubernetes, so you can also do this installation so they can have kubectl installed and also configured so that you can run your kubectl command. And if you also want to have your AWS CLI, you can also have it added onto the script, and that is going to be a very easy configuration for you. You just need to add the AWS CLI command and link, and so you should be able to install AWS CLI. So the kubectl dash version. Yep, you can see that right here. Great. So it's responding as well. So you have kubectl version, so it's responding as well with the client version information measure 1 minor 23 and all of that, and the local host is 8080. So, and that is it, guys, for this video. We don't want to make it to be too long, and off of this project we are going to also show you how you can automate your, the next project should be a project how we can show you how to automate the provisioning of your SonarQube server with SonarQube automated and also installed on this, so that you do not need to go through all the complicated configuration in order to have your SonarQube running. Okay. Yes, guys, if you like the video, please subscribe and also share with your friend. Feel free to reconfigure the configuration so that you can customize it and use it in your environment for your automation. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time.